All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about shooting and moving. A lot of people are getting out of the comfort zone of being static. So let's talk a little bit about shooting and moving. First of all, on the theory level, there's two different concepts. We have shooting while moving, okay, and then we have shooting and moving. Shooting and moving is when you're in one position, you get to another position quickly, and then you continue shooting at that next position. You are not shooting while on the move. The other is shooting while moving. Shooting while moving is I'm actually laying rounds downrange while I'm trying to get from point A to point B. In an overarching concept, it depends on what you're trying to do in which one you will actually execute. Meaning, if my priority is to get from here to there as fast as I can, and shooting is not the priority in the moment, I'm going to shoot and move. So I'm not going to be shooting while moving. I'm going to get there, then at my new position, lay rounds on target if necessary. If I need to get from point A to point B, but I must lay rounds down range while doing so, I'm going to give up that speed for the ability to lay rounds down range. I'm going to shoot while moving. So understand what the priority is. In most cases, shooting and moving, so get to the next position, is actually the better because I can cover that distance much, much faster than shooting while moving. So let's get into the shooting while moving part because that's what we're really here to talk about today. Couple things I have to think about first is how do I walk? And there's a number of instruction and theories about this, but how do I walk? Now, how I'm walking should support the stability of from my waist up of keeping still. Okay, so I really want to, I don't want to walk all crazy, but I also don't want to walk like I'm just strolling down the street. What I want to do is have good posture, good form. So if I'm walking or shooting while moving here, I'm going to, and I'm just going to dry fire this. I want to keep this firearm steady, trained in on my target, because if it's moving around, I'm not going to be able to effectively hit my target. So I want to create a steadiness from here up, and I do so by engaging my core and walking as if I was sneaking out when I was a teenager, okay, from the waist down. Taking light steps, picking up my feet because I'm concentrating on shooting, and I want to make sure that I don't trip on anything. So what it looks like here, just taking light steps, walking as such. My red dot is barely moving in relation to my target. I'm still staying well within the A zone of my target. That is what I want to do as far as a technique goes. What's happening is my upper body, my shoulders are down, chest proud, lats and core engaged. That allows me to glide. My head doesn't move up or down or sideways or whatever. And the relationship from my eyes to the gun also doesn't change. Now, as far as the speed is dictated by, well, how fast do I need to get there and how accurate do I need to lay these rounds on target, and also my skill. If I'm new to this, I actually want to slow down the speed to get the form. If I'm trying to do this and going fast and my red dot or sights are moving all over the place, you're not doing it right. So slow down and allow yourself to learn the technique. So it would be slow at first. Once I have the technique down, then I can increase speed as I go, okay? But make no mistake, shooting while moving is not going to be as fast as shooting and moving, darting to the next target. Okay, so a couple considerations there. I'll go ahead and demonstrate a couple things about shooting while moving so we can see. I'll go slow at first. Basic techniques of how I want to be in relation to my target, keeping that red dot on target so I can lay rounds effectively. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate slowly what that looks like of advancing towards my target while shooting. If you notice, head stayed still, body position stayed still, walking slowly, keeping rounds well within target. Once you get comfortable with that, you're not really changing anything, but you're just moving essentially a lot from your glutes and your quads to make your legs go faster. Nothing changes from the waist up. So I can do essentially the same thing with a little bit more speed. I'll go ahead and show that now. Okay, so that's a little bit about shooting while moving. Now let's talk about other types of movement. I can do this backwards, okay? I might need to retreat and shoot while moving. And let's take a look at that now. Where I was walking earlier, heel to toe and rocking on my feet, I'm gonna do the same thing, just backwards, toe heel. Okay, so if I'm here in my target and I need to retreat, then I can retreat, move backwards. Okay, again, body posture is important. Everything from here is still. I'm walking from the waist down, and when I'm taking those steps, I'm going from toe, rocking on to heel as I go. That way, if I need to stop, and just take a look over here, if I need to stop quickly or you know, stop in my position, I can do that regardless. Okay, I can stop on a dime in a good shooting position regardless of which foot is forward, okay, in that technique, because all I have to do as I go from toe heel is just plant the foot. Okay, so there's some things about moving to the rear. As far as laterally, this is where things get a little interesting. So a lot of folks, lateral moving, they'll sidestep like they're doing the what is it? Some wedding dance or whatever. But it depends. It depends. Are you doing that one side step because I just short distance need to get out of the way? Or are you doing, I need to get out of the way and literally laterally move? So let's talk about that. If I need to get one step or two, I can sidestep and then shoot, no problem, okay? And a lot of people will say, hey, don't cross your feet or don't cross your legs and everything. For the most part, that's true because you lend yourself to tripping. I have a different approach to that. You can, if with a proper technique, not say cross your legs, but if I need to, I can shift this way. My legs from this perspective look crossed, but if you look this way, they're not. In fact, the one leg is not even remotely crossing the other, okay? Not good for needing to get from A to B. It's a kind of a short distance thing. I need to get from here to here, no problem. To go cover long distances, I'm gonna wanna really turn my hips and essentially walk. It's gonna take or require some low back and hip flexibility for this, but essentially what I could do is I'm trained in on my target, everything like before, waist up is still, I'm gonna twist my hips so that way they're pointing and my feet are pointing effectively in the direction that I want to go. And then I can actually walk that way, okay? Couple things to note is that if I'm past my target like I was just a moment ago, I'm gonna start to have trouble being able to keep on target because obviously there's a limit with which my body can twist. So if I'm walking this way as I'm approaching the target, that's fine. Once I get past, then you have to consider a couple things. One, I can switch to my opposite hands, go one-handed from there, if you want to. A lot of times what I like to do is actually switch the hips and then just walk backwards. Now, while I'm able to use two hands and make those hits. So it'll look something like this. As I approach the target, switch, okay, and just do it that way. So you can get that done that way. It takes, again, the focus, whether going forward, backwards, side to side, or what have you, form and posture is what's gonna allow you to do this effectively. If I'm top heavy, if I don't have good form or posture from the waist up, then all this becomes complicated. You start getting more misses. Your stuff is all over the place. If you can really master the posture, then you can actually just focus on keeping your legs light and moving in the direction that you want to go. You can also change directions. So for example, if I'm pressed out and I need to change directions, if I'm not good up top, then this becomes cumbersome. But if I'm good up top, I can change directions here and still keep on target and shoot. I'll show you that right now. So as I'm going this way. Okay, and keeping rounds on target. Okay, so again, form, posture, and using or walking from the waist down is what's going to help you in all this. Okay, a couple little things about shooting while moving. If you think all gun laws are an infringement and you live behind the enemy lines in the People's Republic of California, then check out our Unconvicted Felons t-shirt. We came out with this t-shirt design for you where most of us are fed up with the situation here in California. So check it out. Check out our website. Awesome t-shirt coming at you, and our new line of 2 arms where it stands for 2A rights matter. So check out our new t-shirt and help us feed our dog.